Hey, Chiefs Kingdom! Have I got some great news for you today? The NFL just handed the Kansas City Chiefs a little bonus for the 2025 draft. And trust me, you're going to love this. Now, if you've been following the off-season moves, you know we've been focused on free agency, trades, and roster adjustments. But today, let's talk about the draft, because the Chiefs just got 2 extra picks. That's right, not 1, but TWO compensatory picks for 2025. And here's the kicker. We were only expecting 1. Before this announcement, Kansas City was sitting on just 6 total draft picks. Not bad, but definitely not ideal for a team looking to stay on top. With these extra picks, that number jumps to 8. So, what are these picks exactly? They're both 7th rounders, one at no, 251, and another at no, 257. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 7th round picks? What's the big deal? Well, stick with me, because these late-round selections can be way more valuable than they seem at first glance. Whether the Chiefs use them to draft hidden gems, package them for a trade, or stack up for the future, these extra picks open up some serious possibilities. But before we break that down, I want to hear from you. If you had to sum up your reaction to this news in just one word, what would it be? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'll be reading. All right, so we've got 2 extra draft picks. That's huge. But why are 7th rounders more important than most people realize? Let's talk about it next. All right, let's talk about these 7th round picks. I know some fans might brush them off, thinking it's just the 7th round. Does it even matter? But trust me, these picks are way more valuable than they seem. Think about it like this. The draft is a lottery. The more tickets you have, the better your chances of hitting the jackpot. These 2 extra picks give the Chiefs more shots at finding a hidden gem, whether it's a late-round steal or a player who just needs the right system to shine. And here's the thing. Kansas City has a track record of making these late-round picks count. Look at guys like Trey Smith. He was a 6th rounder, and now he's a key piece of the offensive line. If the Chiefs can find that kind of value in the 6th, imagine what they can do with 2 extra 7th rounders. But it's not just about drafting players. These picks give the Chiefs flexibility. Maybe they package them together to move up a few spots in an earlier round. Maybe they trade one away for a future pick that ends up being even more valuable. The point is, having extra picks means more control over the draft board. And that's something Brett Veach and the front office know how to take advantage of. Speaking of Veach, his philosophy has been clear. Build through the draft. He's not big on overpaying for free agents. Instead, he focuses on drafting and developing talent. That's why the Chiefs have remained dominant while other teams struggle to maintain success. So, now I've got a question for you. Do you think Kansas City can find another late-round steal in this draft? Maybe the next Trey Smith or Isaiah Pacheco? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Now that we understand why these picks matter, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. How do these extra draft picks impact the Chiefs' overall strategy for 2025? Let's break it down. All right, now that we know why these extra picks matter, let's take a step back and look at the big picture. How do they fit into the Chiefs' overall draft strategy for 2025? Well, first, let's talk numbers. With these compensatory picks, Kansas City now has 8 total selections in the 2025 NFL Draft. But the real story here, 4 of those picks are inside the top 100. That's huge. Having multiple picks in the early rounds gives the Chiefs a real shot at landing impact players who can contribute right away. Here's the full breakdown. Round 1, pick number 31. Round 2, pick number 63. Round 3, picks number 66 and #95. Round 4, pick number 133. Round 7, picks number 226, 251, and number 257. Now, if you've followed Brett Veach's strategy over the years, you know the Chiefs build through the draft. Unlike some teams that rely on massive free agent signings, Kansas City focuses on developing their own guys. And it's worked. Just look at the Super Bowl winning rosters from the past few years. So, what are the biggest needs heading into this draft? Well, a few positions stand out. Offensive line. Protecting Mahomes is always a priority. Could the Chiefs target a tackle in the first round? Wide receiver, even with young talent, adding another playmaker could be a smart move. Edge rusher. The defense has been elite, but a strong pass rusher could make it even better. Now, here's where things get interesting. With pick number 31 in the first round, Kansas City has a decision to make. Do they stay put and take the best player available? Or do they trade up if a top target starts slipping? Remember, they moved up last year to get Xavier Worthy. Could they do it again? And let's not forget about those back-to-back picks in the third round, 63 and 66. That gives the Chiefs an interesting edge when it comes to playing the draft board. They could target two impact players or use one of those picks in a trade-up scenario. So now, I want to hear from you. Who should the Chiefs draft? Maybe a top offensive lineman, a speedy wide receiver. Drop your predictions in the comments. Now, let's take a closer look at how the Chiefs could maneuver the draft board. What are the trade possibilities? What moves could they make to maximize these picks? Let's break it down. Next. Now that we've gone over the Chiefs' draft picks and strategy, let's talk about how they can use these selections to their advantage. Because in the NFL draft, it's not just about who you pick. It's also about when and how you make your moves. One of the biggest advantages Kansas City has this year is to closely placed picks in the second and third rounds, number 63 and number 66. Why is that important? Because having picks so close together allows the Chiefs to play a little game of strategy. Imagine this. You're on the clock at number 63, and there are two players you really like. If you have confidence that one of them will still be there at number 66, you can grab the other guy first and double dip on talent. This gives the Chiefs an extra level of control over how the draft plays out for them. But let's take it a step further. What if Kansas City packages some of these picks to move up? Scenario 1. The Chiefs package number 31 and a later pick to jump up a few spots in the first round and grab a premium talent. Scenario 2. They use picks number 63 and number 66 to move into the mid-50s if a top target is still available. Scenario 3. Instead of trading up, they trade down from number 31 to gain more draft capital and target depth pieces. And then there's the future-focused approach. Veach has been known to stack assets for the next season. Maybe the Chiefs used one of their seventh-rounders as part of a trade to acquire an extra mid-round pick in 2026. That kind of move helps keep the team competitive year after year. This is all part of Kansas City's long-term philosophy. They've built a dynasty by being smart, not reckless. Instead of throwing big money at free agents, they draft and develop their own stars. That's why these extra picks, even those late-rounders, are so valuable. So, here's a question for you. Would you rather see the Chiefs trade up for a big-name player or stay put and take the best available talent? Drop your thoughts in the comments. All right, we've talked strategy now. Let's wrap this up by looking at the big picture. What does this draft mean for the future of the Chiefs? Let's get into it. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to look ahead. The 2025 NFL Draft isn't just another year, it's a critical opportunity to shape the future of the Kansas City Chiefs. And when we look at how this team has been built over the years, it's clear that the draft plays a central role. Remember, the Chiefs have 3 Super Bowls in the last handful of seasons, and much of that success can be traced back to smart, efficient drafting. Players like Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Chris Jones were all drafted by Kansas City. And it wasn't just in the early rounds. Guys like Tershawn Wharton and L'Jarius Sneed were later-round gems. The Chiefs' ability to find talent in all rounds has been the key to their sustained success. So, what does the 2025 draft mean for the future of the team? With these 8 picks, including 4 in the top 100, the Chiefs have a chance to add even more talent to an already elite roster. Whether it's shoring up the offensive line, finding a new weapon for Mahomes, or adding depth to the defense, there's potential for a big impact this year. The draft is where the Chiefs have built their foundation, and, with Brett Veach leading the charge, there's every reason to believe the team will continue its winning ways. So, what do you think? How do you see the Chiefs using these picks to shape their future? Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more updates as we get closer to the big day.